Hello everyone, I welcome you all in this lecture and here I am going to talk about ozone depletion. Ozone depletion means the gradual thinning of ozone layer. Ozone layer is present in the stratosphere of the atmosphere and it protects the earth from harmful UV radiations coming from sun. And now due to increase in environmental pollution, that layer is thinning day by day, and as a result, it has increased the incidence of various diseases in the living organisms, and therefore, it has become now a major environmental problem. So, let's discuss it in detail. And the contents will be: what is ozone, what is ozone layer, ozone in the stratosphere, ozone whether good or bad, what is ozone depletion? What is ozone hole? What are the causes of ozone depletion? What are the effects of ozone depletion? And how ozone depletion can be prevented? Now let's understand what is ozone. Ozone is highly unstable gas that exists naturally in the atmosphere. Its chemical formula is O3, that means it comprises 3 atoms of oxygen. It is bluish colored gas having pungent or fishy smell, and that smell generates difficulty in breathing. Its highest concentration, almost 90%, is found in stratosphere and rest of the 10% exists in troposphere. It is very much essential gas for us because that gas absorbs radiations strongly in the ultraviolet region and thus protect us from the harmful effects of these radiations. This gas is highly unstable. That means it reacts and disappears very fast after the reaction. Now let's understand what is ozone layer. As I have already told you that almost 90% of the ozone gas is present in the stratosphere layer of the Earth's atmosphere. And here this is present in the form of a thin layer, and this layer is termed as ozone layer. And the region of stratosphere where that ozone layer lies is called as ozonosphere. It is present at about 20 to 30 km above the Earth's surface. And in it, the concentration of ozone is around 10 parts per million. And in the troposphere, the concentration of ozone is about zero point 0.3 parts per million. This ozone layer absorb harmful UV radiations coming from sun and thus act as protecting shield for us, protect us from the harmful UV radiations. Actually, these UV radiations are of 3 types depending upon their penetration power. These are UVA, UVB and UVC, and this ozone layer absorbs about 50% of UVA, 70 to 90% of UVB and 100% of UVC. These UV radiations otherwise can cause various diseases like skin aging, wrinkles, skin cancer, skin tanning, eye cataract, etc. And thus ozone layer protects us from these harmful effects of UV radiations. Now let's understand how this ozone gas or ozone layer existing in the stratosphere protect us from harmful UV radiations. This ozone gas is highly unstable. It continuously generates and dissociates in the stratosphere, and that complete cycle is termed as Chapman's cycle. Now let's understand how the generation of ozone takes place. Generation of ozone takes place in two steps. In the first step, dissociation of oxygen molecule takes place in the presence of UV light, and in it oxygen molecule dissociates into two oxygen atoms. In the second step, the dissociated oxygen atom combines with oxygen molecule and produce ozone in the stratosphere. In that generation process of ozone, UV light absorption has taken place. Now let's understand the dissociation of ozone. Ozone absorbs UVC type of UV radiations and get dissociates into oxygen molecule and oxygen atom. In the dissociation process also, there is absorption of UV radiation has taken place. And thus in both of these processes, UV radiations have been absorbed, and in this way these two processes protect us from the UV radiations. They prevent the entrance of these UV radiations into the earth atmosphere. These two processes, that is generation of ozone and dissociation of ozone, takes place in the stratosphere again and again, and in this way protect us from the harmful UV radiations. Ozone is good as well as bad for us. As I have already told you that ozone gas is present in the stratosphere as well as in the troposphere. In the stratosphere, it is present in a concentration 10 parts per million, and in the troposphere it is present in 0.3 parts per million concentration. Now in the stratospheric region, that ozone gas acts as a layer that is termed as ozone layer, and that ozone layer protect us from harmful ultraviolet radiations and thus protect us from the harmful effects of ultraviolet radiations, and therefore here it is refers as good stratospheric ozone. But in the troposphere, that ozone acts as atmospheric pollutant. It may produce many drastic effects. It can produce respiratory hazards like asthma, bronchitis. It can damage the lungs. It can cause headache. It can produce burning sensation in the eyes, and thus here it is bad for us. Therefore, it is refers as bad tropospheric ozone. Now let's understand what is ozone depletion. Ozone depletion is the gradual thinning of ozone layer or the destruction of the ozone layer. As ozone layer is protecting the earth from the harmful UV radiations, and the destruction or thinning of that ozone layer will allow the harmful UV radiations to reach on the earth and thus can produce various adverse effects in the living organisms. Now the ozone depletion takes place mainly due to the pollutants existing in the environment that released out from the vehicles, industries and other human activities. As environmental pollution is increasing day by day, and therefore these pollutants are destructing the ozone layer, and therefore the ozone layer is getting thinner day by day, and as a result it has become a major environmental issue. Now what is ozone hole? Ozone hole is the region of maximum thinning of ozone layer, or the region where maximum depletion of ozone has been taken place, and this region was first seen over Antarctica continent in the year 1987, and it was observed between 12 to 24 kilometer altitudes. And later on it was found that ozone depletion appears every spring season over the Antarctic continent, or we can also say that during the mid of August and September it appears annually over the Antarctic continent. And when we see the concentration of ozone in such type of region, that is ozone hole, it has been found that 50% depletion or 50% decrease in the ozone concentration was found at altitude 18 km. Besides that, at mid latitude in the northern hemisphere, decrease was found about 3%. And the major factors that are involved in the formation of ozone hole are ozone depleting substances, or atmospheric pollutants like chlorofluorocarbons, halogens, etc. Now let's understand what are ozone depleting substances, where these ozone depleting substances are used, and from where these enters into the environment. First one are chlorofluorocarbons and hydrochlorofluorocarbons. So let's understand where these ozone depleting substances are used commonly. These are used as refrigerant in domestic air conditioners, refrigerators. These are used in household cleaning products. These are used in the manufacturing of foams for home furnishing, insulation and packaging also. They are used as a solvent for cleaning electronic circuit boards and computer components. Sir, now next are halons. Halons are used in fire extinguishers. Examples are bromochloro-difluoromethane, bromo-trifluoromethane. Now next type of halon, that is trichloroethane, is commonly used as a solvent for cleaning electronic circuit boards and metalworks like watches and clockworks. Trichloroethane is used as cleaning agent in textile industry. Carbon tetrachloride is used as a cleaning agent in textile as well as electronic industries. Thus, we can see that these ozone depleting substances are used widely, and from these sources, these mainly enters into the environment, and by the strong winds, when these are brought into the stratosphere, then these cause the depletion of the ozone layer. Now the causes of ozone depletion. The causes of ozone depletion are the ozone depleting substances. Ozone depleting substances are the atmospheric pollutants, as we have discussed: chlorofluorocarbons, hydrochlorofluorocarbons, halogens. Uh, these all are ozone depleting substances. Besides that, other gaseous pollutants like nitric oxide, nitrous oxide, chlorine, these all are acts as ozone depleting substances. So let's understand how these gaseous pollutants causes the depletion of ozone layer. Now let's understand how the depletion of ozone layer takes place due to the nitrous oxide. Actually, that nitrous oxide produces in the soil as well as in the oceans, and first it enters into the atmosphere by the microbial activities and then can enter into the stratosphere, and here it causes around 60% destruction of the ozone layer. In the stratosphere, nitrous oxide reacts with the nascent oxygen in the presence of UV light and it forms nitric oxide. And in the second step, nitric oxide reacts with ozone to produce oxygen and thus destroys the ozone. Depletion of ozone also takes place by hydroxyl ions. Hydroxyl ions causes almost 10% destruction of the ozone. In the first step, these hydroxyl ions are generated from water molecules. Water molecule reacts with the nascent oxygen to form the hydroxyl ions, and then in the second step, these hydroxyl ions react with ozone and produces oxygen and water, thus deplete the ozone. Now the next is depletion of ozone by chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons are the molecules containing chlorine, fluorine and carbon atoms. These are produced into the atmosphere due to the human activities, and these molecules contribute about 15 to 20% to the ozone destruction. Now when these chlorofluorocarbons are released into the atmosphere, these can be brought into the stratosphere by the strong winds. And in the stratosphere, when UV light strikes these molecules, then these molecules can dissociate and can release free chlorine atom. So in this reaction, one of the molecule, that is CFCl3, it's a kind of chlorofluorocarbon molecule. When it dissociates, it forms another chlorofluorocarbon molecule, that is CFCl2, and also form free chlorine atom. This free chlorine atom has a tendency to pull out oxygen atom from another oxygen containing molecules. It can pulls out oxygen from oxygen molecules as well as from ozone molecules. In the stratosphere, as ozone molecules are there, so this chlorine atom pulls out one oxygen atom from these ozone molecules and the following reaction takes place. In this reaction, these free chlorine atoms deplete the ozone molecule and form chlorine monoxide and oxygen molecule. Now this chlorine monoxide, when hits up by free oxygen atoms, then these free oxygen atoms take out oxygen atom from the chlorine monoxide, and in this way chlorine atom get free again, and that reaction repeats again, that is free chlorine atoms continue to deplete more ozone molecules. So that reaction goes on again and again, and these free chlorine atoms deplete more and more ozone molecules, and in this way causes ozone destruction. Now let's understand what are the effects of ozone depletion. Ozone depletion or thinning of ozone layer is a very serious issue, because the depletion of ozone causes the entrance of UV radiations to the earth, and these UV radiations produce many deleterious effects in the living organisms. These rays affects plants, animals as well as human beings. Health effects of ozone depletion. Ozone depletion generally affects the skin and eyes of the human beings, and it can generate so many diseases that are related to skin and eyes. Some of these are: it can cause skin cancer because the UV radiations damage the DNA and that may lead to skin cancer. And exposure to UV radiations may also cause eye cataract, it can cause skin aging, the weakening of immune system, infections, and it can also cause the darkening of skin or tanning of skin. Effects of ozone depletion on plants. Ozone depletion or the UV radiations affects the plants badly. These radiations affect the growth, development and reproduction in plants. These radiations causes reduced growth of a plant, reduce the efficiency of photosynthesis, may leads to the size of leaves reduction, discoloration of leaves, may also cause premature death of the plants. Reproductive characteristics may be affected, like it may cause reduced flowering, reduced pollen development, seeds production, and may also lead to decrease in the seed size. Besides that, UV radiations also affects the interaction between the disease causing microorganisms and the plants. Plants may become more susceptible to the diseases, and thus incidences of the plant diseases may increase due to these radiations. Now the effects of ozone depletion on the aquatic ecosystem. UV radiations affects the aquatic plants as well as aquatic animals, and these radiations affects their growth, development, reproduction, their physiological characters and all that. These radiations causes decrease in the photosynthetic efficiency of phytoplanktons. These radiations also interferes with the normal growth and development of the aquatic organisms like fish, shrimp, crabs, etc. These radiations may also bring unbalance in the aquatic ecosystem and also can interfere with the marine food chains. Now the effects of ozone depletion on air quality. When the UV radiations enters into the lower atmosphere, then these may cause various photochemical reactions to start, and due to these photochemical reactions there may be increase in the concentration of toxic gases like ozone, and ozone in turn may produce various respiratory diseases like asthma, bronchitis. It may affect the concentration of peroxides, which may ultimately lead to acid rain. It may affect the hydroxylines. Hydroxylines deplete more ozone. And besides that, hydroxylines also acts as oxidant molecules, and which affects the concentration of the other gases into the environment like carbon monoxide, methane, volatile organic compounds, nitrogen and sulfur oxides and all that. And due to the change in the concentration of all these gases, various other consequences also produce in the environment. Thus, ozone depletion leads to other kinds of pollutions also. Effects on biogeochemical cycles. As different biogeochemical cycles like carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, sulfur cycle, these cycles are going on in the environment, and this ozone depletion or UV radiations affects these biogeochemical cycles because these UV radiations alters the various photobiological and photochemical processes going on in the environment. These UV radiations penetrate into the aquatic as well as terrestrial environments and ultimately affects the nutrient cycles. These affect the carbon capture and storage in the aquatic and terrestrial environments and the biosphere atmosphere exchange of greenhouse and chemically active gases such as carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. And due to the due to that effect, these gases may produce other deleterious effects. That means like increase in the greenhouse gases in the environment, and that may also lead to global warming. Now let's understand how the ozone depletion can be prevented. Now first one is public awareness. Public should be aware about the consequences of ozone depletion. So everyone must contribute in the less use of ozone depleting substances. Now as we know that chlorofluorocarbons contributes much in the ozone depletion. So their use must be restricted, and as these are used in air conditioners, refrigerators, so these must be replaced by other compounds which are not ozone depleting. Like here is an example that hydrochlorofluorocarbon 22 can be replaced by hydrofluorocarbon 410A, and similarly chlorofluorocarbon 12 can be replaced by hydrofluorocarbon 134A. These substances do not deplete the ozone layer, so these must be replaced by these new compounds. Rocket flights and high altitude aircrafts should be minimized, and in the household cleaning in the household products like in paints, insecticides, or in the cleaning products, chlorofluorocarbons are used, but these chlorofluorocarbons or hydrochlorofluorocarbons should be replaced with hydrocarbon based compounds. Vehicles should be equipped with catalytic converters. Unleaded gasoline should be used in the vehicles. Atomic nuclear explosions should be banned as they emit nitric oxide, and nitric oxide acts as a ozone depleting substance. It depletes the ozone layer. So these are the different preventive measures by these ozone depletion can be prevented. Now for the prevention of ozone depletion, worldwide efforts have also been carried out, and it was realized in around late 1980s by the world governments, and during that time they agreed to protect the earth's ozone layer by phasing out the ozone depleting substances emitted by human activities under the Montreal Protocol. This Montreal Protocol was an international treaty, and that was actually proposed in September 1987. It was signed in Montreal region of Canada. It was aimed to stop the use and production of ozone depleting substances and minimize their concentration in the atmosphere to protect the ozone layer of the earth. And under this treaty, the consumption of ozone depleting substances such as chlorofluorocarbons, halons was reduced or banned globally. Thank you.